This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside to Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Now it's Stafford. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Colts with a first red zone opportunity in the ball game. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. gun, Brissett. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Brissett sets to throw it. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The first carry now, this is Johnson. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Flex round! Flex round!
Brissett. Flushed out right. And that's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Brissett. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Stafford on first down. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a handoff, Johnson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. But we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Play fake. Here's Brissett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's at the 30, 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. An even 90 yards. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. So from back deep in their own territory all the way into the end zone. You think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So a decent game, still first for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Out of the gun, Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Sims. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. The starters now on the defensive side of the ball for Indianapolis. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league. So there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, 1st quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he's got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Ohio! Ohio!
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
Flex round!
To throw is Brissett. He's going to go for a big play downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. It's a big conversion on 3rd for the Colts. 54 yards. So a big pickup that time. And Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, and they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
they do.
It means a lot to them. It means respect around the league. And if he's able to show those kind of hands all game long, he can win a 2nd one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 30, the 20, 10, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 13-7. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Looking for a bounce back, had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
And that is incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now Brissett. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
On 3rd down, Brissett. And he connects with Ebron. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They go play here on first down. The play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Play fake, Brissett. He rifles one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. They had 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. Now Stafford over the middle, and it's incomplete. Football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts getting ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Brissett now on 2nd down. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Ziggy Ansah in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. They can't tackle it. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried them down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all, because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it, or will they have to throw it in order to try and score?
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They get only a yard there. Now it's third and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Lions on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is third and goal. From the gun, here's Stafford. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up fourth.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
The kick by Carlson is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So put 3 on the board, but from that far into enemy territory, probably hoping for more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get together on the sideline, talk about it, right? Because you get that far, that deep, you want to come away with a touchdown. They'll take the 3, but they're going to file it away for the future.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Second down, Brissett. some breathing room. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Flex round! Flex round!
Brissett. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. They'll try and sneak it here. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. So we're at halftime here in the annual things. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
A first down throw for Brissett. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion. So here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Oh, they stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Now Mack. And they'll get this down to the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try to throw now. Brissett. And he slings one that's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing. Brissett. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Someone moved, flag is out, that's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
You expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They go to Johnson again. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Gal, the guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Johnson running left. And now running right through it. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford got his man complete over the middle. It's Sims. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They go back to the ground with Johnson, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Set, lady.
Play action. Stafford. His pass caught at the 4. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
So that'll back them up 5. From back at the 8 now after the false start. Another try at 1st and goal.
Set, 250.
They pitch it out to Johnson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throw left side complete. That's Rodgers. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. Brissett now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Brissett sets to throw it. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior. And that's
We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Out of the gun, Brissett. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
From the gun, here's Brissett. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burgess. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A very solid gain of 27. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Brissett. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there of 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And they'll run it here. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Flex round! Flex round!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Colts on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Brissett. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now we'll carry from back, and he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal.
And, Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They come out here in the eye. He'll get it up the middle, and he takes it in for a Colts score. A great play there, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Colts have taken the lead here in the 4th. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Throwing is Stafford. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st down, Stafford here. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Stafford on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Dietrich Wise Jr. in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Sims. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And they'll go on the ground. Showed a good move, but quickly corralled just beyond the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. A 2nd down throw for Brissett. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Dietrich Wise Jr. in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
To the right and complete to Galladay. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a one-score game. They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Here's Brissett. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Brissett. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now Brissett. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Brissett looks to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Brissett. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Trying to hurry to the line on the very outskirts of field goal range. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. They'll run with Mack. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. So it'll all come down to the booming right leg of Greg Zuerlein. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So it'll all come down to the booming right leg of Greg Zuerlein. 2 for 2 on the afternoon, and a third would win it. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. But he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
They put up their goal at the beginning of the season, and that was to win 7 games, and now they've accomplished that mission.
And congratulations to them for achieving their goal. They have to finish the season strong, but you got to think that going forward for next year, they're going to jump that number up a little bit higher.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.